This newscast is brought to you by Exclusive Furniture.
Merry Christmas, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us for your digital weather update. It is 11:30 on this beautiful Christmas morning. So it definitely started on a chilly note, and those chilly temperatures pretty much going to continue into the afternoon. Forecast highs today in Houston reaching 58 degrees, so cooler than days past. And good news is no rain, just some clouds that will be passing through, but hey, I think we'll take it after the rainy and stormy weekend that we had. But let's start from early this morning. These were lows across the viewing area. We reached 42 degrees in College Station, 45 in Katy, 46 degrees in Sugar Land, and then 50 in Galveston. So it was definitely chilly as temperatures then and now are down anywhere from about 10 to nearly 20 degrees from just 24 hours ago. Hey, that's what a cold front can do, right? And that's exactly what we saw roll through. And I think we're reaping the benefits just in time for the holiday. So let's take you out to those current temperatures. Again, right around lunchtime, maybe you have some plans, a noon church service. We are right around 50 degrees in Conroe, 52 in Tomball, 50 degrees in Bay City, and then in the mid 50s along the Galveston Bay. So if you do have any of those outdoor plans, especially the kiddos that maybe got new bikes for Christmas, well, a light jacket is probably going to be necessary. And not only are we seeing the cooler temperatures, but also a rise in the winds. So once the front swept through, we actually saw winds starting to shift from southeast to northwest, and that's what's ushering in those cooler temps. Now, these are a look at current sustained winds, anywhere from, let's call it 10 to 15 miles per hour. But as we head throughout the afternoon, we actually could be seeing those wind gusts up to 20, if not 25. So with that chill, the breeze going to make it feel even cooler. So keep that in mind for any of those outdoor plans. Maybe you're walking the dog or just stepping outside to take a look at this gorgeous view. Those blue skies, current conditions out in Houston right now. We mentioned a few high thin clouds. Those are likely going to be moving in a little bit later this afternoon and into the evening hours as well. But we're in the 50s, and that humidity value, boy, does it keep dropping. This morning, if you joined us on Houston's Morning Show, we were looking at about 79, 80% humidity. But now those relative humidity values are down in the 50% range and likely going to continue to drop. So let's talk about temperatures as we head throughout the next several hours. We will be peaking today in those mid and upper 50s across the board. We'll call it 58 as that forecast high between about 3 and 4 o'clock. But then as soon as the sun starts to set, that's when temperatures are really going to drop. Clear and cool overnight. And with those clear skies, there's really nothing to keep the warmth in. That's why temperatures are going to continue to drop not only overnight tonight, but as we head into the next several days as well. Here's a look at some Christmas history for you. Why don't we? It's Christmas, and yes, our temps are actually comfortable. We're excited for a bit of a cool down just because it was so warm and humid over the weekend, but definitely nowhere near the coldest Christmas on record. That was back in 1983 with a low 11 degrees, high of 28. Ooh, that is chilly. That's what they're feeling up in the Midwest now. The warmest day was back in 2015 with a low of 73 and a high of 83. So that's well above seasonal for this time of year. We're right in the middle. I'd say a little bit closer to the warmest, but hey, all in all, not too bad out there. But let's take a tour of Texas, at least in the temperature department, because it is Christmas. Maybe you're planning on visiting some family or friends. We are in the low 50s now, so is Austin. Dallas still in the 40s, but take a look at current temps. 30s, Amarillo to Lubbock, and continuing out toward El Paso as well. So they are definitely cooler because that front moved through a lot earlier than it did here. So that cool air was able to usher in sooner. Now, forecast highs today across the state, some 40s in the spots that are there now, and then we're looking at some 60s in Corpus Christi, and it looks like even 70s the further south you go. As for lows tonight, it is going to be another chilly one. We'll be right around 40, if not upper 30s in Houston, but another round of the 20s out in Midland, Odessa. So if family is there, you will definitely want to keep that jacket handy. Now, the reason that we are seeing these chilly temps is all thanks to that front. And here it is. You have family or friends or just wondering what's going on in the Sunshine State. That's actually where I just came from, the other Fox station in Orlando. Well, rain is moving right on in. That front bringing some heavy rain and potentially even some storms. So maybe you have grandparents that live out there. That's exactly what they are expecting. But let's go back to the humidity values. I mean, this is a look at 12:30, so in just about an hour, and we are going to continue to see that relative humidity drop to about 40%, if not less, meaning dry air is just going to be completely dominant across our area, which is good news for those outdoor plans. Maybe you have the whole week off between Christmas and New Year. Lucky you. Well, you are in store for some pretty nice weather, at least in the skies. Not going to be seeing much except a few clouds as we head into the overnight hours tonight. We're clear and chilly. That's when those cooler temps will be moving in by early tomorrow morning. But we do continue with the dry skies, and that trend will last throughout the rest of the week. But let's talk about where we are seeing a white Christmas. Can tell you it's not here in Texas, not across the south, but areas from Denver all the way up to Bismarck, North Dakota, and all spots in between likely seeing some of that snow. So let's take you across the country. These are going to be what our radar looks like today for the travelers as well as highs. We've already went through Texas, so Florida, I mentioned that very humid air mass with the front moving in, so high of 71 degrees today in Tampa, 67 in Charleston, and 63 degrees in Atlanta. Now, the center of low pressure and front hasn't quite made it to the northeast, so they're in the 50s today, which for them is actually going to be pretty nice. I mean, not too chilly compared to other spots that we'll be seeing in just a bit. Boston, New York City with a high of 50 degrees. We're at 61 today in Cleveland, 57 in Chicago, and 58 degrees in St. Louis. But here's that snow that I mentioned. Areas getting a white Christmas. It's all thanks to an area of low pressure that brought that trailing cold front to us. And as it is twisting in the atmosphere, we are seeing some of those much cooler temps on the west side, and that's where they are getting that snow. And temperatures today only seeing highs in the 30s, Denver to Salt Lake City. But if you have any family or friends out west, whether it's in California, San Fran in the upper 50s, LA in the mid 60s, similar story in Phoenix, Albuquerque a bit cooler though as they experienced that chill in the atmosphere. As for us, our temps are going to continue to drop. We're actually monitoring a secondary front. Very weak, not bringing any rain, I can tell you that. But it will help to drop temperatures yet again Thursday and into Friday. Now, that's when we are going to be seeing the chilliest wake-up temperatures. So forecast highs in the mid-50s, and we'll be waking up to the upper 30s. So it is going to be chilly one. You'll definitely need that jacket, sweater, coat, whatever you have if the kids are still on break. But, you know, if they have those outdoor plans, something to keep in mind. But let's talk about what we can expect longer term. Sunday, December 31st through Thursday, January 4th. Can you believe we're already talking about the new year? It's like, hey, Christmas just got here. Well, out west, we are going to be seeing above normal temperatures. So maybe you're going there for the ball to drop. And if you're anywhere across the southeast, that's where we are going to be seeing below normal temps. And that does include us here in Houston. But you can see we're in the very, very light blue range, meaning we're actually going to be pretty close to average for this time of year. As for any precipitation, well, it looks like a very, very dry air continues up in the Midwest and the Northeast. I have family that lives up in Michigan, and they're bummed that they're not waking up to any snow this year. So that's all thanks to the El Nino pattern that we've been talking about for the last several months. That is going to keep us a bit wetter than normal, but just like with the temps, we're pretty close to average. So with our 7-day forecast, it's showing the next best chance for rain could be coming this Sunday. We're still a ways out, but that's going to be a possibility that we'll keep an eye out for. Right now, just 20%. Really, it's going to be all about those temps, 50s, a few low 60s by Wednesday. with beautiful blue skies. Thursday into Friday, chilly with those highs we mentioned in the 50s and those wake-up temperatures back into the 30s. So we do have a bit of a chilly forecast on this Christmas, but I hope everybody is having such a great day. And as always, thanks for joining us right here at Fox 26. And we'll actually bring you much more news and weather coming up in our noon show, so just about 20 minutes from now. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.
The castle was brim with the blessings of Christmas.